Oh, you know what? May not have labs. Well, just see if you see them at the work meeting. All right. Okay, I have it at 6 o'clock. We'll open this meeting. Would everyone please stand for the pledge? I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice.
Roll call, Marie.
Councilman Cohen,
Here.
Councilman Rebecca's absent, Councilman Jacob Kennedy,
Here. Here.
Mayor Davis.
Here. Everybody had a chance to review the agenda? So I'd ask for a motion to approve the agenda.
Motion.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, approval of the June 6th meeting minutes, 2023. I have no questions on them. Any questions, concerns? No. I have a motion to approve the minutes from the June 6th meeting.
I'll make a motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, move on to approval of the bills. And transmittals. We have deposits in the amount of $277,388,018. Accounts payable $90,600.25. Payroll was in the amount of $35,712.57. Transmittals were $20,926.16. Do I have approval? Pay the bills and the financial statement.
I'll make motion.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, we'll move on to correspondent, Marie.
No correspondence.
Okay, we'll move on to items from the public. We need items from the public. Yes.
So coming at you from just as a community member, not from the planning commission. I had the opportunity to attend the governor's funding conference and workshop last week. It was in Sheridan, and the governor and our two state senators put it together to educate our state on all of the upcoming federal funding that will be available to our country as a whole. How they described it as its unprecedented amount of funding, comparable to like the New Deal during the Great Depression. So there was a lot of money coming, and our state senators put together this budgeting or grant writing / funding workshop just to make our community and state available, because Wyoming historically has been very low on the list of states who have utilized and taken advantage of federal funding. But throughout the conversation and the week of understanding what sort of funds were out there and what was available, it got my brain thinking that I, as a community member, generally don't know what our council's goals and agendas are, because I, who am a planning person in general, I got really excited about, oh, we could do this project, we could do this project, we could do that project. But as a community member, that doesn't matter. It matters on kind of what our sitting council's agenda is. And since we never really had the opportunity to have a pre-election question and answer, where I think usually you are all kind of questioned and you get to make those statements, I don't think that you guys have ever had that opportunity. So I was just curious, and I don't need to put you on the spot right now, but I just wanted to throw it out there, is what are each of your guys's program goals? What are your capital improvement goals? Where do you see our town in 5 years? What do each of you want to accomplish during your time as council members? And I think knowing those, if you guys could each lay out kind of your expectations, and I think as a community, we then know kind of what to expect and where are you steering the ship, as leaders, where are you leading us? So I kind of just wanted to throw that out there. And again, you don't have to say anything now, but I think it would be really, I know I, as a community member, would appreciate, I don't know, an official statement, press release, or you can just say a blurb at the next town council meeting, but for each of you guys to think about that. And then when you have those goals set out, then maybe, we have the opportunity to take advantage of some of this funding money. And a lot of it is infrastructure based. Anything with water improvement is heavily, like, there's a lot of funding available for that. So just for something for you guys to think about.
Thanks, McCall. I challenge the council members to think about that, and maybe we can have a discussion on it at the next council meeting. Any other items from the public? Okay, seeing none, we'll move on to council comments. And I'm going to put this in under council comments. Earlier we had a public hearing involving the planning commission, and then they opened up their meeting, special meeting, to approve a subdivision. And the approval will then kick the subdivision to the town council, and we will have a public hearing on it also. I asked Doug with WLC, who has designed this and worked on this with Triple D Construction. That's not the name of the subdivision. And I asked him to share a little bit of information with the council, with the public, so we can be better informed before the next council meeting and public hearing, in case there's some questions. So Doug, if you would, please.
Thank you, Mayor Davis, Council, Doug Boyd with WLC. We've been working on this plat now since before February. Brian's here with us in the back as well. It consists of 8 lots. There's a small and large scale copies available. If you'd allow me to approach, I can hand them out to you at this time. They're I'll just hand you guys the small scale pictures. They're way easier to look at. This project is on, well, originally was Saratoga Inn property and which has now been transferred out. It falls east of Veterans and south of Myrtle. It consists of 8 lots that are approximately 5 acres each, which you can see on the face of the plat. It does cross the slough for ownership. There are utility easements proposed for all the lots for access. Sewer and water will tie into Veterans, which that's already been through the Joint Powers Board, and those plans have been reviewed and approved. And copies of those plans are here still at the table, along with the engineer's estimate for construction. Each of the ties to the sewer in Veterans will be off independent pump stations for each house, putting, shall we say, pureed effluent into that system, increasing the liquid flows. The zoning will not change for the area. The preliminary plat was approved along with the final plat was approved today with recommendation to go to council for review. What else can I say? There were some questions brought up in previous meetings about the status of the lots, which I can go into as in little or great a depth as you'd like. I can say that extensive abstracts and background were done by the title company and by council, and we've received 2 separate council opinions to move forward with the plating as you see it today. And if you have questions, I'll do my best to answer those to move forward. Other than that, we hope you guys have a chance to review and allow us to present at the upcoming meeting.
Council have any questions?
I don't.
No.
Thank you very much for your time.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Brian, for staying over. And we'll get this published and get it on the agenda
Thank you very
for
much.
the next meeting. Thank you. Okay. Now we'll move on to reports from departments, town hall. Miss Marie.
There's a special events application for Brewfest. 27th annual Stallion Cup Brewfest.
Thank you. Go ahead. Explain.
Well, it's the 27th annual Stanley Cup Brewfest, and something different this year is I actually moved it up a week. It's always been that 3rd weekend in August, and we're gonna try something new. It doesn't help that the last 3 years, Old Baldy's had big, huge weddings on that weekend, and it has taken our hotels. So I collaborated, and we are gonna do it on the 12th this year. And parking situation with Veterans. And now a fence there, they won't be able to pull all the way through. But my plan is I'm there by 7 a.m. anyway. So I will have me and my volunteers park diagonal so we can get the most out of the parking out of Veterans Island that we can. Overflow will happen over at the Hobo Hot Springs, and they can walk over and use that gate as well. And there will be, so both gates will be blocked off and IDs checked for everything. And I have green bands for over 21, red band means stop, don't sell, don't.
serve.
Yeah, correct.
Okay. Who's gonna be in charge of the bands?
We only have one band.
No, the red.
Oh,
bands and-
so myself and other board members that are on my chamber board. In the past few years, we man both sides of the main bridge and the back, and everyone, you don't get through unless that ID is checked. even if they're 12. I mean,
Great. Chief, do you have any questions for her?
I think last year Glenn patrolled a little bit more for me than had been in a few in years past, and that worked out really well. Because the river was so low last year that people, they wanted to could have got onto the island without,
Walk across.
yes. But so Glenn, he patrolled a lot more this last year, and I really liked that.
That, I'll let you make that arrangement with the chief.
Perfect.
He will provide you what you need on that.
Perfect.
Does the council have any questions? No. Do I have a motion to approve this special event application?
I'll make a motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? You have your special.
And Burns Insurance will be sending over the copy of the liability insurance that'll have the town of Saratoga listed out as well.
Okay, great.
Yep.
Thank you. We'll sign off on that as soon as I get the insurance and.
Okay, and I'll talk with Mike and stuff, and we'll kind of create a plan there
Okay,
and go from there.
thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, we'll move on to the second special event permit on the same day, and it's the duck race. Hi, ladies.
How are you?
Good.
We're wanting to have a duck race on the same day as the Brew Fest. And we want it at Veterans Island, throwing the ducks off of the bridge at Veterans Island.
Okay. And you're gonna release the ducks from there?
Yes,
And where will they be going to?
down around to the curve of the river. It's not very far. I mean, we're not going to.
Are you going to the first bridge?
No, we're not going that far.
Going north of Veterans Island or the bridge, that first crossing where the fire trucks cross to fill our ice skating rink
Oh, okay.
right
All right.
there.
Okay.
We're piggybacking off of the Steinley Cup.
Using biodegradable ducks?
No.
In which they have our chamber ducks from years ago.
They're using live ducks.
Well, I suggested that one too.
Um,
And we want you to please approve it because we have 200 ducks labeled already. Just kidding.
Is there something idea on to capture the ducks?
We're hoping to have a net
Okay,
at the end.
okay. I just don't want,
Ducks.
other people,
Yeah.
maybe from Seminole complaining about you're doing a duck race. No.
No.
Are there any questions? Concerns?
Can we shoot any that get away?
Sure.
Chamber.
Cost you $5.
Can I get a motion to approve the special event for the duck race?
I'll make a motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Have your duck race.
We'll get you a final. We'll make sure we count. We are counting the ducks going in and we'll count the ducks coming out.
Okay. Oh, the next special event, we have a pickleball tournament. Okay,
We're hoping to get a permit for a pickleball tournament on the 22nd of July. We'll hold it over at Veterans Island. We have 2 courts that are already put down.
okay.
We'll have food.
We're working on that.
Pretty big turnout, do you think?
We're only going to have like 20 teams, up to.
Questions from the council? Do I have a motion to approve this special event for the pickleball tournament?
I'll make a motion.
Second,
I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved.
Thank you.
Yeah. We have one more special event. The Platte River Wander. Is None of you ladies are doing the Platte River Wander?
We are having it approved last. This is for the Riviera Fund.
This is for part of the Riviera, okay? And it's tied in with,
Yeah, it would be the other end of the water.
okay. All right. You weren't here, they're having. McCall, would you step up and explain to Councilman Flutie, Jerry Flutie? He wasn't here for the last meeting, so
Well,
he'll understand this.
bad deal. Just kidding. So the mall is partnering with the Riviera this summer on July 2nd to do a first annual Platte River Wanders. We kind of wanted to help the Riviera take advantage of the really beautiful outdoor space. And it's very close to the mall, and we do our day of music. We have for the last 4 years on the 2nd. And so we wanted to kind of encourage more of a wander, if you will. There's an alleyway that goes between the mall, so you don't have to go all the way out to the highway, and then you can get to the Riviera. And so with the Riviera, so I believe the Riviera is planning on doing their own alcohol. Did they pull a sort of malt beverage permit for this? And maybe music or just yard games, some sort of outdoor entertainment, and then the idea that there can be an open.
Then you're gonna block the alley and the street.
Block the alley, and there can be an open container permit that connects the two, because people will do that anyway. So
Yeah.
just prove it ahead of time. And then just kind of creating entertainment an afternoon with music on the river.
I assume you shaking your head that this is all worked out, so they can wander.
Yeah, just as long as we get, talked about a partial street closure on East Saratoga, just halfway. Block. They've already secured approval to use the back of the bank instead of going out to the street. And down the alley, so they can go back and forth. So as long as we can. Open container permit or is that will either, one of two things that happen. I talked this, I track and I'm completely all for this, because we're either gonna be policing the open containers or just, helping them get this done. So I think it's not a bad thing. And other than that, I really don't have any concerns as long as we can get those things in place.
Okay. All right. Any questions for McCall or the chief? Do I have a motion to approve this open or this special event, Platte River Wander?
Like motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Right.
Opposed? Okay. We'll move on to Saratoga pay structure. And this is. Does it find it? Is an item we put together. That we're trying to get set into. So you're not looking for numbers. You don't have to set amongst yourself and discuss numbers to paid people. It will be set in writing. And then we can look at that and go, okay, if somebody leaves us, in which we just had a DPW person leave, we can look at that. And it's all based on experience. You'll have a starting point and a high point, and somewhere in that pay grade is where you'll hire them at. So, there'll always be a low and there'll always be a high. And things are subject to change. I can't find it.
Me neither, and I had it a while ago, looking at it.
55. 55.
You go through it, you'll have the organizational chart. And of course, you have the citizens of Saratoga, and then you have the mayor and the council. On the left side, you have the town attorney, municipal court judge, town administrator. Under that falls payroll, accounting, utility billing, court, human resource, cemetery, campground, and airport. You move over, you have the police department. Under that, you have public safety, criminal investigation, traffic patrol, support services, and animal control. Directly under the next item over to your left will be the fire department. You have fire suppression and fire prevention. Next to that, you have the Department of Public Works. Under that, you will have the streets, the water, the wastewater, utilities, engineering, planning and zoning and material. And then to the far right, you have boards and commissions. You have the rec board, community center, the planning commission, W&SJ Joint Powers Board, the airport and SWIMS. Under that, you will have the recreation department where you have rec programs, swimming programs and special events. And you can look at the pay structure, scale. What we've added into that is an automatic 10 cents a rate, 10 cents a year raise for every year that you're here. So, you know, if this would have been into effect when John Lasko first hired on, he would be receiving approximately $4.40 more an hour because he's been here 44 years. So we're trying, you know, it doesn't seem like a lot, but it's a little bit of gratitude for the people staying here a little bit longer. And that just runs through all the field we have. You move on to it. Under the departments, you know, pay scale grades advancement will be based on a yearly performance evaluation. Longevity pay of $1 a year will be paid at 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, and 20 years. Incentive pay of $1 will be based on department certification. So that means, like, if we hire somebody into the water department as just as a hand, and they receive a level 1 water certification, brings a certificate, which we need to put in their personnel file, they'll receive an automatic $1 an hour raise. Police department, they're kind of on their own a little bit. Theirs will fill out, but it'll be all on recommendations of the chief, but they have certification. The clerk and the treasurer, they work the same way. If we send somebody to a grant writing school, they come home and now they're working with grant writing skills and stuff like that. They'll receive, you know, a bump in pay. If you go into something like street department, where we have to send somebody off to get their CDL license, they will also receive $1. So if you move down to it and you start with recreation, a recreation director, we start at 22 and they max out at 25. Open gym supervisor starts at 10 and they go up to 11. A lifeguard starts at 11. Now, this will be, some of this is based on the new budget coming out, and the lifeguards can move up to a $14 an hour. The pool manager is starting at 15 and will move up to 18. In the administration part, a clerk will receive $23 an hour to start with and a high of $27 an hour. But in between there, you may bridge that gap with dependent upon experience. You know, they may have been a clerk for 10 years somewhere else. So, you know, they will have an idea. Treasurer is the same way. Assistant clerk, their pay range is between 18 and 22. Accounting clerk is between 14 and 18. And a custodian is between 12 and 18. You move on into public works. The public works director is based on $42 to $50 per hour, depending on experience. And again, how long they've been here. Just everything varies in here. Street supervisor would be somewhere between 22 and 26. Street operators will be, their starting wage would be 17 to 22 based on experience, certifications. And it just goes on down through there. In the police department, you've got the chief of police and his pay range is somewhere between $35 an hour and $40 an hour. A lieutenant is 28 to 32.50. Sergeants are 25 to 28. Officers are 21 to 23. Dispatchers 17 to 20. And a kennel technician is $12 an hour. So with this, the administrative pay scale in for 2023 is a step one is 14 for deputy clerk. A step one is $14 an hour, up to a step 9, which is $22 an hour. Deputy clerks, step 1 is $25 an hour, up to step 5, which is $32 an hour. The treasurer part will follow in that same thing. Cost of living raises every year will be voted on the town council during the budget session and given if approved. Longevity pay, I went through. Incentive pay, CMC certificates for clerks, MMC master municipal clerk, CPFA certified public finance administrator, and the ACPFA advanced certified public finance administrator. And this is what we put together in, I would say, in the last 30 days, maybe 45. So I'm open for input on this.
I think it's good to have it all cut and dry.
Me too. Me too. And you know, even if you put it into resolution form where another council has to follow it, you can always go back in and amend that and change the numbers as years go on, you know. Or if the town gets a large revenue of something, or, you know, they build another coal mine here. Just for example, but I think pay structure like this that governs us. So one person doesn't tell somebody, yeah, we can probably start you at $15 an hour. And then they go to another person and says, no, starting, I think is 16. That's where we start you. You won't get mixed up because it's all set in stone. And that way, when you interview somebody for a job position, they are going to know, you know, somewhere in that pay scale, they're going to fall. Whether it be a total beginner or somebody that's got 10 years experience, but they're going to know where in this pay structure they can fall into. And
I think it's a good idea.
any questions? Nope. Comments from the public on this? Could I get a motion to approve this?
I'll make a motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. Good. Well, now we'll move on to the big one. Ordinance 867, budget third reading. You guys decided which one's gonna start? Okay, all right. Marie.
Ordinance to provide income necessary to finance the 2023-2024 fiscal budget of the town of Saratoga, Carbon County, state of Wyoming. Be it ordained by the governing body of the town of Saratoga, Carbon County, Wyoming, section 1, the amount of general revenue necessary to be raised for municipal purposes and to meet current expenditures of the town of Saratoga, Carbon County, state of Wyoming during the fiscal year July 1st, 2023 to June 30th, 2024, hereby fixed at the suitable levy on the town of Saratoga assessed valuation. Section 2. And for the general fund of said town, there be levied a suitable tax of 8 mills on all real and personal property in the town of Saratoga. subject to taxation for the purpose of raising the sum of a portion of the appropriation, which includes other anticipated revenue, charges, and income for operation and maintenance of the general fund. Section 3, general fund anticipated revenues and income. Taxes, $2,189,200. Licenses and permits, $97,050. Intergovernmental revenue, $357,600. Charges for service, $51,000. Fines and forfeitures, $20,000. Miscellaneous revenues, $261,650. Contribution to transfers, $699,000. Total anticipated general fund revenue, $3,675,500. Section 4, that for the enterprise funds of said town, the following sums of money is hereby appropriated to defray the expenses from the general fund for the appropriation of the total of the enterprise fund for the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2023 and ending June 30th, 2024. Impact Fund, $440,000.
Can I interrupt you for just a second? You have the wrong date there.
I know, I said I gotta fix that.
Okay,
Impact funds, $440,000. Airport fund, $366,000. Water fund, $779,500. Sewer fund, $568,572.36. Weed and pest, $90,145. 911, $10,020. Specific purpose tax, $55,000. Total anticipated enterprise revenues, $2,309,257.36. Section 5, anticipated expenses and disbursements of the general fund. Town hall administration, $818,910. Salaries and payroll benefits, $278,526.40. General expenses, $540,383.60. Planning, $263,090. Salaries and payroll benefits, $20,340. General expenses, $242,750. Municipal court, $37,300. Salaries and payroll benefits, $18,200. General expenses, $19,100. Police department, $1,121,725. Salaries and payroll benefits, $940,000. General expenses, $181,725. Volunteer fire department, $72,175. Payroll benefits, $12,175. General expenses, $60,000. Street department, street department, $604,400. Salaries and payroll benefits, $382,200. General expenses, $222,200. Swimming pool, $90,000. Salaries and payroll benefits, $50,850. General expenses, $39,150. Popcorn, $40,650. Salaries and payroll benefits, $18,550. General expenses, $22,100. Saratoga Lake, $14,500. General expenses, $14,500. Parks, $153,600. General expenses, $153,600. Recreation Department, $148,150. Salaries and payroll benefits, $111,550. General expenses, $36,600. Community Center, $250,000. Salaries and payroll benefits, $185,000. General expenses, $65,000. Transfer to reserves, $0. Total anticipated expenditures of the general fund, $3,675,500. Total excess revenues above expenditures of the general fund, $0. Section 6, anticipated expenses and expenses of enterprise funds. Impact funds, $440,000. Transfer to reserves, $0. Airport fund, $366,000. General expenses, $82,800. Capital projects, $225,000. Transfer to reserves, $58,200. Water fund, $779,500. Salaries and payroll benefits, $182,500. General expenses, $494,394.47. Transfer to reserves, $102,605.53. Sewer fund, $568,572.36. Salaries and payroll benefits, $182,500. General expenses, $385,734.36. Transfer to reserves, $338. Weed and pest, $90,145. Weed, salaries and payroll benefits, $17,250. Pest, salaries and payroll benefits, $8,445. Weed control expenses, $5,400. Pest control expenses, $59,050.00. Transfer to reserves, $0. 911 funds, $10,020.00. Specific purpose tax, $55,000.00. Capital projects, $55,000.00. Transfer to reserves, $0. Total anticipated enterprise expenditures, $2,309,237.36. Total excess revenues above expenditures of the enterprise funds, $4. Section 7. The mayor of the town of Saratoga and the town clerk are hereby authorized and instructed to certify this ordinance and to make application to the Board of County Commissioners of Carbon County, Wyoming for suitable levy to provide the town of Saratoga with monies for general purposes, provided, however, that said levy shall not be in excess of $8 on the dollar. Passed, approved, and adopted this 20th day of June 2023.
Questions? Questions on this end? Question from the public? Could you say that again?
The contributions and transfers. $699,000 income. Oh. Couple donations, miscellaneous recreational donations, park improvement donations, animal shelter donations, Wyoming community gas grant contribution, community garden funds, grants and revenue, never forget park revenue, investment fund transfers. And transfers in from reserves from town hall. Transfers in from reserves from ARPA, American Rescue Plan Act. Transfers in from reserves from the impact funds for our Gateway West. And then transfer in from other funds in zero, but so some of it is coming from our reserves. Yes, okay.
Other questions? Speak up. This is how we're spending your money. Seeing none. Any other question from the council?
One there question.
Oh, go ahead.
Quick question.
Hey, yeah. I let Karen off the hook.
Richard Hodges, Rollins Times. When you started this discussion, you were $1 million short. Second reading, you were about $500,000 short. And now you've figured out how to balance it. How did you make the necessary adjustments? Why were you $1 million? Why were you short? And how did you make the necessary adjustments and what got cut so that you could get to a balanced budget?
You know, not a lot of things got cut, okay? I mean, there was definitely some cuts made. But we went back into our funds on how we could spend impact funds, 6 penny money. And that's how we funded some of the projects, which freed up money that we were short. Does this make sense? Freed up money that we was short that we could move in to other departments.
Okay.
And the reason we were short, a lot of it was wind energy impact money that was there for the last 3 years that wasn't there this year.
Has that wind energy money been coming in? Actually coming in? I hear conversation at county level that they're not actually getting the money that they said they were going to get.
Well, the Choke Cherry Wind Energy was put on hold on how they're going to distribute money. I can tell you that. The Transmission West, what was that called?
Gateway.
Gateway West transmission line had a groundbreaking ceremony today. I was not able to attend. We were scheduled to go, but with the council meeting and other business, we just couldn't get away. That money will start coming in sometime this year, I would expect, on how and it may not come in until after the transmission line is done. I don't know. But we will start receiving money from that one, and it is a go to move forward.
Okay. Third question. And in response to a previous question, you said that you used some reserve money to get this to balance. How much reserve money did you use?
As a total, can you answer that, Marie? Because we pulled it from different areas of impact money, and we put it into what we could. Some of it went into the police department. A lot of it went into the road repairs. That's why the holdoff has been on road repairs and everything, because the money wasn't there. Now the money's there. We were able to use impact monies to purchase a police car, for one example. We was able to use impact money no, we couldn't use it for that. We did dip into the reserves after talking with the Joint Powers Board. We'll probably dip into a little bit of their reserve from the Water and Sewer Fund to help us with some equipment between water and sewer and DPW.
590,000.
So 590,000 of reserves were used. How much off the top of your head do we have in reserve?
That's, some of that you can't consider as a reserve because it's specific used money. Okay. Really, reserve accounts, you have a reserve in weed and pest, you have a reserve in water and sewer. The impact money and the 6 penny money is not really a reserve account because it's project specific. So we had special project road improvement is for one is the impact money from the impact funds. That's what we pulled, but it's got to be project specific.
Okay.
As far as day-to-day financial work, we couldn't pull to supplement this budget. We pulled to get equipment we needed, items we need to repair streets and everything, but that freed up some other money that we normally had to use from taxes, your normal taxes, your gas tax, and on that, we freed up money from there that we could put to another department to help fund that department.
One final question, thank you. Does the town have any money in reserve in general fund money? Not special monies, general fund money. Does the town have any money in reserve?
I think you could consider part of that $7 million, yes, as part of, as a reserve account.
Okay, and I'm maybe not paying enough attention to details. 7 million. Where'd that number come from?
Well, that's between our Wildstar accounts and, the general fund, that's taking into all consideration of every bit of money. I don't know. I don't have a total on the actual Wildstar accounts and impact money and all that. I don't have that total in front of me,
Sure.
but that is, the town has approximately $7 million. A lot of that set aside for specific projects. This budget increased quite a bit. And one good example is the Planning Commission. They received a grant for $216,000. We have to put that money out of the general fund into there to cover that expense, because every dime the Planning Commission spends on this, we pay for it and then we get reimbursed. So, but we do have money in reserve.
Thank you.
I don't know how to answer it any differently.
How much money is in our piggy bank? I think he wants to know. Do we have just a saving?
In the general, there's not, is there?
Probably in the general fund, that's a hard question to answer. We do have $5 million. I would say somewhere around $5 million in the impact money, the sick penny money, our Wildstar accounts for water and sewer and weed and pest. And, I don't have that total. Do you have that total? I mean, we can get that total, but I don't think we have it in front of us. Weren't prepared for that total.
So we have about $7.5 million total. $1.5 million in our general checking, in our general fund currently right now. The rest is in Wildstar, but we also are awaiting about $1 million from SLIB that's coming in to cover the water and sewer line in front of Town Hall. And next year we'll be receiving $216,000 plus other grant money that is reimbursable for the money that we spent this year.
So I'm taking off what she has in general fund to say in reserves, we have about $5.5 million.
Thank you.
Setting in a reserve account. Okay. And that's just all approximate numbers. Any other questions? Do I would entertain a motion to pass ordinance 867 on its final reading?
I'll make a motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, the budget has been passed for fiscal year 2023 and 2024. Okay. Takes us into police department.
Good evening. Just to start with a little bit, calls for service since our last council meeting, we had 148 calls for service. Again, varying degrees. Ambulance calls were up a little bit. Potholes a bit more than And it's a usual, but certainly different types of calls with part of the pool being closed for the length of time that it was. We wrote 3 citations and had 5 warnings during that time. So that was just basically stuff. I do have a couple other things to come before the council. Is we've got a couple of a contract coming up with Converge One. They take care of our 911 system. That includes the maintenance and the actual monitoring of the 911 system. They gave us 2 options. I think right now with things that are changing, and I don't know where we're going to be another year from now, we'll have the ability, but to just go through and be my, I would show my approval if you would to approve the 1-year contract for a total of $7,585.43 for the Converge One. To take care of our 911 system.
And what is the second?
Well, the second
Both have
quote
the
is-
same title.
The second quote was for 3 years. It was supposed to be a little bit of a cost savings, but it was really not. According to $7,500 a year, 22,000 and some change, and then get the 3-year quote was 23,000. So see much of a cost saving.
Okay.
I think with some of the changes that might be coming down the pike, you're actually, the state of Wyoming is in talks with updating some 911 systems. So I think staying back with a 1-year contract would probably be the prudent thing to do at this point.
So my question is this coming out of this year's budget or is this coming out of your new budget?
Well, we were hoping to, if we could get it approved, it would come out of this year's budget.
Okay. Question? I have a motion to approve this coverage quote for 1 year of $7,585.43 for the police department.
Make motion.
I have a second.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye. Is that different than the full quote?
That's a good point. Jacob brought up a point.
The actual quote shows $7,812.99.
Oh,
Yeah, that's the 3-year. The 1 year is $7,585.43.
Here we go.
okay. All right.
All right.
Opposed? Okay, motion carried. So we'll scratch the second quote. Mike? Well, yeah.
You get the resolution for the vest grant. See it in here. Oh, it's next. All right, this one. This is the same vest grant I applied for the last couple of years. You'll notice that the grant application, the amount of unknown right now, is we don't know. This grant we have to go out for, the application deadline for the vest is coming up the 26th, I believe. And what the councils have done in the past is going ahead and approve this in the resolution. We don't get reimbursed for the total cost of the vest. It is a percentage of a portion of the vest that we get reimbursed for. We do have $5,000 in our vest budget for next year that we were able to keep. And I think the year before, that's kind of where we ended up, the department ended in a problem, we ended up getting cut. And then there were some donations made to get the vests. But so I don't have a firm price on these because we have to go out and actually get the prices of that. And then they will decide what percentage or what portion of that they'll.
And how many do you expect we'll have to buy?
2 at this point in time.
2?
And they have been running around the $1,400 to $1,600 range this year. There is a possibility, I'm looking for a little additional funding. We've got a little bit of money in it, but we do not have any rifle plates, anything that'll stop a high-powered rifle. So that is something that we will be looking at too.
Answer this. Say we pass this resolution and we go out and they decide to give us nothing. Do we have enough money and do you have enough money budgeted to cover that if they do not?
Yes. There's $5,000 in our vest budget right now.
Okay. Any questions? Would you please read this resolution before I can call for a vote on it?
Will you read this one?
Go ahead.
Resolution 2023-12, a resolution authorizing submission of an application to the grant loan program on behalf of the governing body of the town of Saratoga, Carbon County, Wyoming, for the purpose of 2023 Patrick Leahy Bulletproof Vest Partnership BVP grant. Witnesseth, whereas the governing body for the town of Saratoga desired to participate in the 2023 Patrick Leahy Bulletproof Vest Partnership BVP grant to assist in financing this project. Whereas the governing body of the town of Saratoga, Carbon County, Wyoming recognizes the need for the project, and whereas the 2023 Patrick Leahy Bulletproof Vest Partnership BVP grant program requires that certain criteria be met as described in the 2023 Patrick Leahy Bulletproof Vest Partnership BVP grant rules and regulations governing the program, and the best of our knowledge, this application meets the criteria, and now therefore be it resolved by the governing body of the town of Saratoga, Carbon County, Wyoming, for the grant application in the amount of unknown be submitted to the 2023 Patrick Leahy Bulletproof Vest Partnership BVP grant for consideration and to assist in funding 2023 Patrick Leahy Bulletproof Vest Partnership BVP grant. Be it further resolved that Mike Morris and Tyler Kristen are hereby designated as the authorized representatives of the town of Saratoga to act on behalf of the governing body on all matters relating to this grant or loan application. Passed and approved, adopted, date and for signature.
Any questions about the resolution? I would entertain a motion to pass this resolution.
I'll make a motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you very much.
Anything else? Oh, thank you, Mike. Okay, we'll move on to the fire department. They left me with a report. The chief is out of town on business, so completed hydrant testing this past weekend for ISO survey. Hope that the report back from ISO shortly. And hopefully it's a good report that keeps our insurance down for the town. Added one new volunteer firefighter. No name. Come join the Saratoga Volunteer Fire Department on July 22nd, as we will be celebrating the 100-year anniversary of the Saratoga Fire Department at the Platte Valley Community Center. Doors open at 2. The Saratoga Fire Department will be providing food starting around 6. Rimrock will be there to play starting around 7:30. No cost to attend. Donations will be accepted. We need to, I would direct the clerk, have Brenda enlarge this and let's post this in a few places around town.
There's currently a flyer being.
Oh, do you?
Yes, there.
Okay,
There's a certain individual that is helping the fire department create a flyer for that,
okay,
but you just answered all the questions that we needed to
okay,
finalize that.
okay.
What was that date again, Mayor?
It'll be, July 22nd. 100-year anniversary. Saratoga Fire Department will be doing their annual pancake breakfast on the morning of the 4th of July. We got pancakes, bacon and eggs will be served. Doors open at 7 a.m. They have training every Wednesday night. The fire department is working with the Saratoga Lions Club to put on the Bull Fest for 2023. Event will be on August 26th at 7 p.m. at Buck Springs Arena. That'd be a good one to advertise too. Any questions on the fire department report? Okay. We'll move on to Recreation Department. Special event for the luau is delayed until July 22nd, 2023. We have to re-vote on that? We shouldn't have to.
No.
No.
She just wanted to notify us.
Okay. And then we have rafters for the ball field. Could you explain that, Marie?
This is an invoice to approve the materials for the rafters.
Okay. For their new concession stand.
Oh,
So, in the amount of $3,105.52.
I'd make a motion for that.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Just to note, that is coming out of their budget for last year and they still have some money left in there. Not much now, but. Okay, we'll move on to Department of Public Works. And last meeting I held off because we didn't have an offer letter back. The offer letters come back. Our new DPW individual, his name is Emery Henner. And he will be starting with the town of Saratoga on August 1st. And everybody note that he's over water and sewer and the streets and everything. He's also going to be the part-time planning and zoning officer and the weed and pest guy. Okay, we'll move on. Chuck McVeigh come to me today. They need 3 pressure transmitters for the well field. And each one of them are $1,140 each. Plus shipping. So. Do I have a motion to go ahead and purchase these transmitters?
I'll make a motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, we have an invoice from TO Engineers. On this invoice, if you notice. This and I believe I looked at it when we first got it, and it comes back as I believe it's reimbursed to the liquidated damages that were assessed on this project. Find it. You find it? Yes. This is to pay them. When final comes through with street project out here, and we're just still dealing with substantial completion because it had to be advertised for 45 days. For anybody that didn't receive payment for what they did to come forth to the council. Once that's done, then we'll enter into negotiation with them. And this $24,714.16 will come out of liquidated damages and being reimbursed to the town. Now There's probably gonna be another invoice with a little bit because he come over and done his final walkthrough. He's done some advertising. And that will all be taken care of when we do final approval of the project. And at that time, the town will submit their bill for $5,000 for where we fixed a broken water line down on the project. So this will be reimbursed to the town. So if I could give a motion to go ahead and pay TO Engineers.
I'll make a motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
All right.
Opposed? Okay. And we have invoices for mosquito supplies. On this, it's $9,993.50. This is for chemicals, which will be reimbursed to the town also from the Carbon County Weed and Pest Control. I just have to budget for all that. And this will all be reimbursed to the town. So could I get a motion to pay $9,993.50?
I'll make a motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. We'll move on to RP Lumber. And this is building materials that have been purchased for the ball fields. It's going to be a restroom, it's going to be a storage room, and it's also going to be their concession stand. This is money that they spent over a period of time. They brought invoices in. So could I get a motion to pay RP Lumber $2,567.98?
I'll make a motion.
All in favor, or a second, please?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, do you have, before I move into new hires, do you have a report?
I do not.
Okay,
I talked to John and the pools are open, but that's all.
okay.
Yeah, I just got back, so.
And that's pretty much where their diligence has been, is working at the pool. We got the not so hot pool open first. Then the actual swimming pool has been filled with water. Treatment has been put in the pool. When I talked to John this afternoon, it was up to 60 degrees. And we're moving forth on that. They did get the hot pool cleaned. And it is now open. It opened earlier today. Pardon?
I said, thank goodness.
Yeah.
And just so you know, it rose back up over the sidewalk, but since there's not an inch of slime on the sidewalk, we're gonna go ahead and leave it open. We did get all the slime and all the nasty. There was some fish that had made it in from the river and they were cooked, but we didn't try any, but anyway. So the hot pool is open for the paper, for the radio station, for Dick Peru. Would you read, do you have Butch's letter of resignation with them? Anyway, we had an individual resign. Lyle Cook's his name. The 16th was his last day. John and Chuck and myself and Mike have been doing interviews. We have 3 individuals that are wanting to go to work for the town. Since we have a new pay structure, from what we can tell, all 3, we have 1 with the CDL and then the other 2 have no experience whatsoever. So we have some projects that are coming up and one of them's asphalt. The hot mix plant got put into place. What I'm asking the council for is an offer letter or me approval for me to send out an offer letter to these individuals. Two of them would be starting at $17 an hour. And the other one, I think we should start him at 18 to see what he is. Just because he has a CDL, we can put him at the high end of the our pay structure, and which, you know, and then we can work with them. I'm just asking for an offer letter. I don't know if any of them will take the position. The way they talked today, Chuck reached out to them. They were all still interested, but they haven't seen their offer letter on pay yet. So
I'd make a motion to go ahead with it.
with the offer letter.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'll second it.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. We'll move forward with that. Okay, reports from boards and commissions. We'll start with the Community Center Joint Powered Board. I see nobody here for there, so we'll just note that their next meeting is July 10th, 2023 at 4:30 p.m. We'll move on to the Water and Sewer Joint Powers Board. So
We had someone resign. So we, over their letter. We changed banks from Bank of the West. We closed that account. And all that's been transferred to Rollins State Bank. We're moving ahead with the Myrtle lift station. Let's see. Water and sewer ordinances are still being worked on, and we'll have a meeting at some point. There's not a date set for that. I think that was about it. Do you have anything to?
the only thing I could add to that was the tank demolition, which we, it's in the new budget of $55,000. That'll be coming down in, they said late July or August. The contract's been sent out for signature on that and everything. And then they are just pushing forward. They're pushing the engineer to move forward to start looking at some of your grant money that's available and trying to step over. They're trying to bypass a step so we can move right in. And one of the projects is a continuation of the River Street water project. That main line was scheduled, that's part of the 6 penny money to go on up over the hill. And another portion they were really pushing hard towards is another additional water tank after this one comes down. So there's two things they're actually working on to move forward with, which will probably be, if they all get approved and everything, the grant money comes through, it'll be a next year's project. They are moving forward with that. And then the only other thing on this is one of the board members that's appointed by the town. His name is Roger Cox. His term is up in July. And he provided us with a letter of interest to get reappointed to that position. And Roger, I think, does a good job on the Joint Powers Board and everything. So if I could have a motion to reappoint Roger to the Joint Powers Board.
I'll make a motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. I will deal with that tomorrow. Okay, we'll move on to planning and zoning. Okay. And the first is we have a letter of interest from Matt Baker, who is present tonight. Would you please read his letter? Marie?
Sure. Mayor Davis, during our recent conversation on April 28th, You mentioned if I was interested in serving on the Saratoga Planning Commission. After some thought, I am submitting this letter of interest for a position on the commission if there is still an opening. I have been a full-time resident of Saratoga for 2 years, the land property owner in Carbon County since 2014. My education was obtained at the University of Wyoming. I have been in Wyoming for close to 40 years. Since my retirement as a senior petroleum engineer for the federal government, I have been renovating my house on Veteran Street for the past 2 years. My work experience as a petroleum engineer involved design analysis and approval of all aspects of oil and gas operations on public land in accordance with the Code of Federal Regulations. Other experience involved reviewing and making final decisions regarding oil and gas operators and the enforcement of the CFRs, instructing petroleum engineers and oil and gas inspectors at the local and national level on the CFRs and federal contract administration. This experience may lend itself to the oversight and decisions the Planning Commission makes on matters brought forth by the public regarding Saratoga Town codes and ordinances. Thank you for your time and consideration. Sincerely, Matt Baker.
Mr. Baker, are you still interested? Please.
Yes, I am.
Please step forward if you would. Does the council have any questions for Mr. Baker?
Anybody have any questions for me? Thank you for reading that letter. Keep me from having to read it.
With that being said, do I have a motion to appoint?
Yes,
Have you read our 2016 comprehensive master plan? Familiar with that at all?
no, I haven't.
Well, my question was going to pertain to that, so.
As we say in the oil field, I'm in Warren's corner. But I'm highly trainable as an engineer and all that, and I heard you up here speaking twice, so I think I'll get to meet you. Find out about the 2016.
She is the chairperson of the planning commission.
That's I understand. I met a member of CID, but I would be a lot of good organizational skills or whatever. Just wish to do better for the city of Saratoga and have some time now. You know, being retired and I've been in here a long time, so anyway, there you go.
Do I have a
Any other
motion?
questions for me? You mean, I don't need a mic. What do you hear?
You got a nice voice. I can hear you.
Yeah.
Do I have a motion to appoint Mr. Baker to the planning and zoning commission?
I'll make a motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, Mr. Baker, you are officially on the planning and zoning. I will get you a book.
I have some questions.
Sure. Feel free.
You asked me to be on it. I guess I should have done some more. I understand some of the things going on here.
Mhm.
Non-paying, very good. I like that. I'm needing more taxes. I'll get with you. On some information on that. How much does it meet? What's it required? I see people with letters of resignation going on. How long is this position?
This position is good for. He's filling a position.
Filling a position that I think goes until the end of 2025.
2025? 2 years?
2024.
That's fine. That's fine. I'm just curious. I don't know. I mean, I've had time.
Yeah, we've never said and discussed all the particulars.
All right, well, I'll get with her after. I mean,
Okay,
thank you.
thank you. Geez. I had to skip this, but I guess I won't. We'll move over to the zoning. What I've got before us to vote on is we have request for a zoning change. One of them is David Young. He wants, and he owns the business, or he owns 504 South First Street. And the lot next to him is owned highway business. He has requested at 109 West Walnut be changed from RD 6000 to highway business. Along that same line, I think we can do it all at once, is Joe Dell and Steve Hone also request lots 6 through 10, address 111 through 117 West Walnut, be changed from RD 6000 to highway business. No one spoke out in the public hearing. So I'm going to ask for a motion to allow these two zoning amendments. And they will be put on the zoning, the new zoning map.
Where's the first one at?
It's where Brush Creek built their,
Right by
Bonder,
gas.
yes, and then right behind it is another lot that's already zoned highway business. He has 3 lots there, so he's wanting to change the zoning on his.
So
And
it's
then-
all in a row there.
So it's all in a row. There will be no breakup. It'll be what, approximately half block. All but one on the corner will be changed to highway business.
Okay,
Any question? I would entertain a motion to pass this zoning amendment.
I'll make a motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
I,
Opposed? Motion carried. You now have the right for a business. Mr. Cody. Do you have any questions for us on this? Your fees have been paid. Everything is good to go.
Thank you, guys.
Okay. Anything else for the planning commission?
We. Come on up here again. So we reached out to, Carbon County, planner. I would just inquiry on kind of what training was available for planning commission. We are now a very, very young commission. I am the senior member at, I think, about 14 months. And so our commission was seeking some training. And so I reached out to our Carbon County planner, and she said that herself and the Laramie town or city planner would be willing to come over and do a little workshop with us. And so that is scheduled for July 13th at 3 p.m. Do we need to do some sort of public announcement that we're all meeting together? I don't know what the time frame of that needs to get published. Is that a week, 2 weeks? It just needs to be announced in some way.
24 hours.
24 hours. Okay. So we will all be getting together to hang out for an afternoon. And they're just hopefully gonna kind of walk us through kind of what our authority is as a planning commission, state statutes, kind of just a general rundown. So now that our new member here can join us, and I think we still have one open position, which I guess there is potential for it to get filled before then. If anybody's interested, submit your letters of interest, and hopefully we can get our one other vacancy open before that so that we can all attend the same training. Other than that, the planning commission just continues to work on the short-term rental permit. Last meeting, we discussed kind of our higher level strategic goals on what we'd want to accomplish with the permit process. And then taking those goals now, we're going to try to draft up draft permit. And once we have that, then our plan is to open up some sort of public workshop where we could get feedback and tear it apart and redline it and put something back together with more community involvement. But we didn't think we could do that until we had some sort of draft work off of. So those are kind of been our top tier working points. Any questions?
The attorney, I talked to her briefly tonight. She has the 2 items. One was the CAP grant contract with OV. And also the ordinance, you asked me for her to review, and I told her that was the two priorities I needed to get done. As of right now, so she said she'd work diligently on them. Okay.
All right, thank you.
Okay, we'll move on to Recreation Commission. Do you have Abby's letter of resignation? Would you please read that letter of resignation?
Sure. Dear Mayor, Council, and Recreation Commission, it is with a very heavy heart that I tender my resignation effective immediately. It has been a great pleasure serving on this board since 2016. I have truly enjoyed being a part of new programs, the betterment of others, and helping create new events, as ensuring their activities is something that I strongly believe in. Unfortunately, the board is moving in a direction that I cannot comfortably be a part of any longer. Thank you for allowing me to serve on this board for the last 7 years. Sincerely, Abby Raymer.
I would like to note that Abby did a fantastic job, and I think she'll be missed, and I want to thank her publicly for her time she spent on that board. So, and then we have the Adopt a Block. Do you have the particulars on that?
I don't.
Yeah, I believe it's something that the rec commission was putting together, and Councilwoman Beck is not with us tonight to explain that, so we'll just move on to the Saratoga Airport Advisory Board. I was not able to attend the last meeting. I was in Utah. Anyway, I talked to the recording secretary for the airport board, and they had nothing of real interest to bring up, but they are wanting to purchase a hand snow blower for the airport, for their sidewalks and everything, maybe a little bit right up next to the hangar doors and stuff like that. And the quote I seen, or the bid I seen, was for Shidley Hardware, and they requested that they move forward on it now so they can have it before winter. So the snow blower they're after is $2,105.99, which will come out of their budget. Do you have a motion to approve this, to purchase a snow blower?
I'll make a motion. I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Their next meeting will be July 10th, 2023 at 3 p.m. here at the town hall. Okay, let's move on to Ashwim. Do you have anything to report?
We just met last night and there aren't really any new updates except we will be participating in an auction to try and purchase a used ambulance so that we could possibly replace one of ours right now that's having trouble with the transmission. But other than that, our next meeting is July 17th at 6 p.m. in Encampment.
Yeah, don't you guys have an ambulance fund set up, don't you?
We do. We have money set aside for a brand new ambulance and we're applying for grants as well.
Okay.
We have a grant, I think that'll cover 55% of it.
Wow.
But you can't get a new ambulance for several years, so we're hoping to get something sooner than later.
What, can you enlighten us with, what do they anticipate the cost of a new ambulance?
$300,000.
Okay. Nothing else to report? Thanks, Marie. Okay, we'll move on to new business, and we have a letter of resignation.
Mayor Davis and Council, please accept this letter as formal notification that I am resigning from my position, town clerk with the town of Saratoga. My last day will be July 14th, 2023. I want to express my gratitude for the opportunities. I didn't think I was going to cry. I have had while working here. I have learned an immense amount and appreciate the support provided by my coworkers in the council. I'm committed to ensuring a smooth transition and will do everything I can to assist in the training of my replacement. I am willing to continue to work part-time to help during this transition period. Thank you again for the opportunity to work here. I wish the town of Saratoga continued success, and I hope to stay in touch in the future. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Can't say enough about this. Mike, go ahead.
Yeah. Your professionalism and diligence is over the top, and we're gonna miss you. Bunch. You people don't know what she does. She does a lot. I'm not about to cry. My nose is stuffed up. I got allergies. I'm having one hell of a time here.
You got something in both your eyes.
That's okay.
But she works very hard. You don't know what she does.
Since I've been here 6 months, all I can say is she's done a fantastic job. We may have got off to a little bit of a rocky start, but we have ended strong. She has put this town above and beyond everything she does. And I just can't thank her enough. The only thing I want to add to that, I'm going to move forth and Marie has agreed to remain as the clerk of court, which we did budget some money for a salary on that. And you know, this is an appointment, but I want the approval of the town council because I will appoint her as the clerk of court for the time being. And roughly, what do you think, 20 hours a month?
Yeah, less than that.
Less than 20.
Yeah.
We'll come up with a rate, you know, of pay, which I think should remain about what her rate of pay was as the clerk. She worked, and why I'm doing this, why I asked her to continue to doing this is, again, we have an attorney that handles all litigation for the police department. And we have a judge, and Judge Massey cannot speak more highly about the two people he's working with, Patrick and Marie. And so I don't want to disrupt something we got going that's good because they have brought the court system back into compliance where I think we have a very few old cases left. And so with your permission, I would like to appoint her as clerk of court with the pay she receives per hour at this time.
I make a motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Right, okay. Is there any other new business from the public? Seeing none, I see no further business. Do I have a motion to adjourn this council meeting?
I'll make a motion.
Oh,
Go ahead.
Still new in all this.
okay.
Okay, so Council Hunter, I'm looking for an approval to get uniforms for the lifeguards. I don't know if it's already been in approval, but I found a lady in town that can make the shirts for us, good quality shirts. And they would say Saratoga Pool on them. But they are not the red, but they do have that cross. And the shirts, I'm looking to order 20 and they're about 100 less to order through her than through Amazon. And so then I'd be able to order hats. It's $350 for 20 shirts through her, and it's $440 for 20 through Amazon. And then visors would be through Swim Outlet. Just looking for approval to order uniforms before the next council meeting.
Uniforms and the visor, do you have a total cost?
It'd be about $450.
Would you just fill out a purchase request and bring that forth and we can approve that without a motion before?
Perfect. And then it'll stay in town and it'll say Saratoga compared to just the run of the month Amazon.
Okay,
So perfect. Thank you.
thank you. Hey, is there any other business to be brought before this council? Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?